one thing that a lot of people have created this government to do is that it does look like this government is very reactive to the feelings of Nigerians when there is a clamor. Cybersecurity levy, a lot of clamor agitation. It was suspended when they went ahead to say the student loan will commence. They saw that a lot of things were untidy in the law. They went back to the National Assembly. They amended it. It will soon commence. There are a lot of decisions that this government has taken. There are a lot of people who give credit that it is not a dictatorial government in terms of making decisions. And when it sees that there are errors, they will come back. But it does also say something that this government looks like a lackluster, a flip-flopping government that takes a decision that doesn't think carefully about, doesn't buffer, doesn't create any buffer, doesn't create any pillars to push the decision, takes a decision, and at the end of the day realizes that it was a disastrous decision. That subsidy that won't go, there are those who have said, analysts who have said, Nigeria is still paying subsidy.
Look, let me tell you, you see, some of these decisions that, the president has reversed, we need to understand from beginning the president told us that there is need to expand the tax net in order for us to generate more tax so that it can be deployed into certain areas that will service the need of the people or the need of citizens generally. So there is nothing disastrous about some of those decisions, but rather we should commend Mr. President for listening to Nigerians. If Nigerians said that this decision, for example, the decision to reverse the cybersecurity levy, if Nigerians said that it doesn't go down well with them, and the president listening to them, what is wrong about that? That is a listening president, and that shows that he's not a dictatorial president that will just come out with a policy, and then
you don't think that this government looks like a flip-flopper, a government that doesn't really have it acts together? I can list 10 policy decisions that have been flip-flopping. They'll go into town with decisions.
Isn't that the beauty of democracy?
But that is the failure of governance.
It's not a failure of governance. For me, it's the is the beauty of democracy that the president is listening to Nigerians. Okay, the president is listening to other arms of government like the National Assembly and stuff.
You know
like
what
that.
governance experts will tell you?
What will they tell me?
That they will say to you that when you flip flop like that, it does look like you are not strategic in your decision and your policy.
No, I don't agree with that. When you flip flop like that, it means that you are trying to get the best for the people. And that's it.
Let me tell you something. If you are a medical doctor or if you are a mechanic, can you flip-flop in carrying out a surgery on the heart of a patient and say, okay, if I make a mistake, I will go back and reoperate it?
That example, that instance is not applicable.
It's applicable. You know why I should tell you? Do you know how many
do you
people may have
applicable?
died? I don't have the figures. In terms of how governance affect the lives and livelihood of the people. Do you know how many people who have lost their jobs based on that subsidy must go statement? Do you know how many people may have died because of that? Do you know how many people that their lives have been impacted directly based on that decision? And you say, oh, I'll go back.
And there are millions of Nigerians that their lives have been impacted positively as a result of that decision. There are millions of Nigerians that their life have been affected negatively. And the good thing is that the president understands and feel the pains of Nigerians. That is why oftentimes, he always appeal to Nigerians to be patient with him. Look, like I said, Mr. President inherited a battered economy. And he need to revive the economy. The policies he's putting in place will revive, or have revived the economy. We need to be patient with Mr. President policies. We need to be patient so that this battered economy, this economy that was in coma will pick up.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Let me ask you a question. And I'm very sure that you have taken up paid employment before.
Definitely.
So, if you are, for example, an entrepreneur and you are an employer of labor, would you employ someone who is trying on the job?
Who is trying what?
Who is trying out with you? You employ somebody and he says, oh, let's for example, you own an airline or you buy a private jet and you employ a pilot, and the pilot tells you, sir, don't worry, I'm a fantastic pilot, but don't worry, sometimes I might flip-flop, we might land in this Red Sea, but don't worry, I can try again when we land, I will fly the other one. Would you take that kind of risk?
Shehu, don't bring example that is not applicable in
We
terms of
employed and we gave a job. Just a moment. It's the same. It's the same. Just a moment. We employ President Tinubu. We are paying him. He campaigned for the job. He said he went into an interview, and that is a campaign. He told Nigerians he will get the job done. But when you flip-flop on the job, you have failed the people, your employers, which are the Nigerian people. What if it's a job or a decision that you don't have a second chance, Mr. Alancha?
You see, the problem Nigerians or most analysts have is the fact that they expect a magic wand. But in aspect of governance, you don't apply the magic wand. These are things that will pick over time. You need to give up, time for certain policies, to begin to yield the positive result that is expected to reach. So it's not something that will happen overnight.
Let's put it on.
It's something that over time, as we continue to implement them, we begin to receive the result gradually.
I will ask you 4 questions. Four questions.
Right.
Quickly. The first question will be, Mr. Alancha, is your life better from May 28th and now?
My life is better.
You have more money in your bank?
I won't say I have more money in my bank, but I'm satisfied with where I am and with what I have.
In terms of the living condition and the standard of living in this country, is your life better?
Shehu, I am a farmer, and I can tell you we are doing better.
Okay, let me ask you. My second question will be, do you, by any means, do any trading that involves the dollar?
Well, I don't.
But you know what the dollar rate was before this government comes into office?
Tell me, what is it?
Well, you know.
I know.
What is it today in the parallel market?
You see, that is why we said one of the decisions that Mr. President
I'm taking
by unifying the market forex exchange rate, you understand, is something that is commended, because you will agree with me that our foreign, the forex, okay, was not, stable. You understand? And he floats the naira. Let's repose confidence on Mr. President that is going to work.
I was one of those persons, Mr. Alancha, when the dollar went from about 1,520 and it came down to about 1,200 thereabout. I was one of those who say we're seeing the effect of the decision of this government. But guess what? In less than 2 weeks, or about 2 weeks, the dollar went back to about 1,500. It does look like whatever thing that is being done is just cosmetic. And that's why I'm asking you basic real life questions that has to go down to the indices to measure the economy. Inflation rate, what was it like? Unemployment rate, what was it like? Food inflation, what was it like? Headline inflation, what was it like? Before this government took into office and now that they are there, exchange rate, what was it like? External reserve, what was it like? It has depleted. These indices are in the negative. When President Tinubu took office in the last 1 year, every of the economic indices in this country has gone in the red.